Welcome to this third and final webcast on the curriculum in design technology. This webcast is brought to you by Primary DT and is written and delivered by Lawrence Keel. In this webcast, we're just going to have a quick look at some of the other areas of the curriculum that you might want to consider if you are reviewing your current curriculum provision in DT. We will also give details of our audit document for auditing the curriculum in design technology. As well as ensuring that your school curriculum meets the requirements of the national curriculum, here are some other areas of curriculum provision that you might want to think about. Time allocation. There is no specific guidance about the amount of curriculum time that should be devoted to teaching design technology. Most schools have opted to teaching the subject over 3 half terms during the academic year, and this is the approach that we have taken in our scheme of work. Actually, the key question to ask yourself is whether children are reaching the expected standard at each of the ends of the key stages, and as part of this, whether the curriculum is covering all areas of the DT national curriculum. If the answer to either of these questions is no, then a key line of inquiry should be whether enough curriculum time is being allocated to allow the children to have the breadth and depth of learning in the subject. Linked to the amount of time allocated to the subject is the method of delivery in terms of how many topics are covered in each year group and how many lessons are used to deliver each topic to ensure curriculum coverage. Also worth thinking about is how the lessons are delivered over a half term. Are they delivered weekly with an opportunity for children to revisit, recall and consolidate previous learning? Are they delivered over a series of lessons during 1 week? Some schools have a DT week each term with every afternoon devoted to the subject, or are they delivered as a design technology day with all the learning compressed into 1 day? Each of these approaches have their merits and their pitfalls, and different approaches work for different topics. Reference to how the subject is delivered should form part of any curriculum statement for design technology. On the previous slide, we mentioned breadth and depth of learning. Breadth is important in ensuring that the national curriculum is covered so that children receive their curriculum entitlement. But the DT curriculum is potentially vast and you cannot cover everything in depth, and so maybe choose certain areas where the children will have the opportunity to go deeper into the subject. So for example, if you're lucky enough to have a school garden or allotment, you could shape your cooking and nutrition unit so that the children include ingredients that they have grown themselves in each project. If you have woodwork equipment as part of your resources, you could include 3, 4 or 5 units where the children create wooden frameworks as part of their learning across both key stages. Or you could include elements of enterprise and entrepreneurship into your DT units, where children are creating products to potentially sell to parents or at a school event. Again, whatever topics you choose to include in your curriculum, have a clear rationale for these choices that is articulated through your curriculum documentation. Resources. Design technology as a subject has the potential to be resource heavy, both through specialist equipment and also through consumable materials. In developing a curriculum, firstly undertake an audit of your current resources and see whether you're able to deliver the curriculum using these existing resources. Also, a tight scheme of work that clearly identifies the product that the children will be creating, along with the materials, tools and techniques that they will use, will allow the school to resource the subject more efficiently. Also, consider how the subject will be taught. If the school does decide to include several projects that involve woodworking, then it is likely that this work would be done in small groups. You are unlikely to want to have 30 children all sawing wood at the same time, so you would only need to resource for maybe 6 saws and bench hooks for those kind of woodworking activities. The same kind of approach applies to cooking and nutrition lessons, and whether the practical elements will be taught in small groups, half class sizes or the full class. Cross-curricular links. Many primary schools follow a topic approach to teaching the foundation subjects, and often the driver for these topics are either history or geography related. This leads to teachers trying to link design technology learning to the ancient Greeks or the Brazilian rainforest. In our webcast on the principles of design technology, we will discuss further the need for DT projects and the products children design and make to be real life and relevant. So designing and making a Tudor house or a Mayan headdress is not particularly real life or relevant to children's experiences in Britain in the 21st century. Also, in a cross-curricular topic approach, weaker subjects tend to be forgotten or badly taught. And so teachers who are not confident or lack subject knowledge tend not to teach DT properly as part of cross-curricular work. If you do go down the route of cross-curricular topics, ensure that the DT content within each topic area is clearly identifiable and matches the scope and ambition of the national curriculum. Within the DT curriculum, there are opportunities for children to apply their knowledge from other subjects, particularly maths, science and computing. And here we are looking at key skills such as measuring from maths lessons, applying knowledge of properties of materials and simple circuits from science lessons, using block coding to control products and computer software to design products from the computing curriculum. When considering this transference of skills and knowledge from one curriculum area to another, this highlights the need for curriculum coherence. And this is about ensuring that if we are asking the children to transfer these skills and knowledge, that they have already been taught them in these subjects, because what we want to avoid is using valuable DT time to teach or reteach learning from elsewhere in the curriculum. Health and safety. As mentioned in our introductory webcast, teaching DT, due to its practical nature, can introduce an element of jeopardy into lessons. Part of successful and effective planning for each practical lesson is about reducing the risk. Risk assessments are not worth the paper they are written upon if they are written and reviewed every 3 years and then put away in some dusty cupboard, but signed by the teachers every September so that the school shows some degree of compliance. Risk assessments need to be live documents that reflect the current situation, the activities that are being undertaken, the nature of the children taking part, and the risks involved in that particular lesson. And as part of reducing the jeopardy, have clear guidelines for the practical elements of design technology in terms of group sizes, techniques that are taught, and where additional adult support may be needed. Make sure that staff receive appropriate training in teaching the techniques correctly and that all staff adhere to these routines and receive regular refresher training. Also, choosing appropriate resources for these activities can help to reduce the jeopardy. For example, when teaching children to grate carrots, make sure that all the graters are of the same design and size so that children only need to know one technique. Staff need to be able to demonstrate due diligence when teaching practical activities and demonstrate that they have actively sought to reduce the risk. Finally, when considering the curriculum in design technology, it is worth noting the soft skills that are often developed in the subject, such as getting organised, working as a team, discussions and decision making, cooperation and resilience. These will not happen by accident, and there may be times within lessons where these soft skills may need to be taught, or certainly children will need to support to develop them. This may be another area you might want to include in any curriculum documentation in DT. In our scheme of work, we certainly include slides to help teach and support these vital skills. So this now completes the 3 webcasts covering the curriculum in design technology. For those of you who are using this series of webcasts to audit your current provision in DT, Section 1 of the audit can be downloaded from our website that covers the national curriculum in design technology. Our next webcast will focus on design technology in the early years. All units of work, product examples, teaching ideas, photos and learning activities featured in this webcast have been taken from the Primary Design Technology Scheme of Work. The Primary DT website provides information about the content of over 50 units of work that have been written as part of the Primary Design Technology Scheme of Work. Each unit is available for immediate digital download from the website. Each unit of work is priced at £10 and includes medium-term planning, lesson presentation slides, a knowledge organiser and all the digital resources that are needed to teach the unit. Discount prices are available for schools who wish to buy multiple units of work to create their own scheme of work or to supplement their existing scheme. The primary DT website also contains many resources and guidance that can be downloaded free of charge.